Hello everyone and welcome back to another scrap mechanic video. Got something fantastic to show you in this one. It is a giant gun and it's one of those ones that's fixed to the ground. Now this right here, you could call it a cannon or perhaps a turret, but basically it's a gun, and the cool feature here is that it has a clip and it can shoot off multiple rounds. Now this is a concept that we messed around with in the live stream and managed to get it to an almost working state. Then I tweaked around with it a little bit more and I've just about managed to get this thing going. So we're going to check it out and then we're going to do some experimentation with it in this video. Now I do want to mention that this thing is all built on the ground, so you can't pick it up and put it down somewhere else. And if you saw the smart crane video that I've done recently, this is very similar to that, where we have this sort of caged off area down the bottom. We can rotate this thing right here, and this big platform that the gun sits on can actually turn from left to right. Now we can also aim this thing up and down as well, which is all good, but for now, for the beginning bit, we're just going to aim it straight forward because I've just managed to get it working like this, and it's taken a fair few attempts to do so. So we're just going to check it out with the basic features. Now, disclaimer alert, this doesn't always work, but we'll see it in action, that's for sure. So we've got two buttons here that are going to allow us to use the gun. That's 6 and 5. So if we press 6, we're going to push out the next piece of ammunition, and then we're going to press 5 and shoot it off, and wow, that was amazing. I loved how many times that spun. So realistic, just like a real bullet coming out of a gun, right? Doing backflips and all sorts? No, of course not. But hey, this is Scrap Mechanic, and this is a prototype, and that one wasn't so successful. So there is a failure rate, I guess you could say. I'm not claiming this thing to be bulletproof, pun intended. There we go. And shoot another one off. Bam! That one, that is the furthest I've shot one yet. And it's rolling. Excellent. That's like a high score. I've shot off quite a few shots from this. Never seen one go as far as that. So let's just do one more. Oh, and I pressed 5 before I pressed 6. Yeah, that's the other way you use this, by the way. You push out the bullet, then you activate the wheels to shoot it. And that one went down there. So you can see it's a bit of pot luck involved, really, with where it's going to go. If it's actually going to go out into the distance or just sort of flop out onto the ground. But there you go, it's only a prototype, and I think it's a pretty cool demonstration of what could be possible. So let's talk about the controls here. Another thing you may notice, this is just a regular seat, and what we can actually do is hook up these controls that I'm going to show you to a driver's seat. That's the one where you got the steering wheel, so you can press, forward and reverse, left and right. If you go check out the smart crane... Oh, what happened to the view? I think I hopped inside that while I had the inventory open. Yes, that appears to be what happened. If you go check out the smart crane vehicle, you'll see how I hooked up that. But for now, we just got to press 1 to turn to the left, and then 2 to turn to the right. And we're using some bearings that are hooked up to controllers, and they're on loop mode, which means they'll turn and then they'll sort of fix into a position, and then you can tell them to keep turning. So we can move this thing around and aim it wherever you like. And it's the same dealio for going like down like that, which we don't want to do. We want to aim upwards. We want to shoot one of these up into the sky. Now here's where the disclaimer really comes in, because I have hardly tested it at all, shooting it at different angles. I just wanted to share this with you guys, see what you thought of it, and let's shoot that off. Bam! Wow, that went flying really far. That was so cool. Alright, I want to turn that off and try that one more time. Let's aim to the side a little bit. In fact, why don't we shoot one off while we're turning? Okay, so we're going over here. We really need to get our shot away, and I forgot to load it up. There we go. Press 5. Bam! And we shot it while turning. That has gone insanely far as well. Really, really cool. Alright, and let's just do one more. By the way, you shouldn't have the wheels running when you push it in like this. It usually does that and gets caught inside. It doesn't look very comfortable in there, does it? So there you go. That's like the gun. I'm not sure what else there is to say about it at the moment. Let's discuss how it works. Now, some of this is obviously pretty obvious. You've got the wheels that are spinning around, but basically between them there's like a one wide gap. Let's sort this out so we can have a look at it properly. There we go. So there's a one wide gap in there, and we've got some engines hooked up to each of these wheels to spin around at the top speed. Now we've done this with the, I think are they oil engines? What are they called? Gas engines. Yeah, I haven't tried this with electric. Electric might be a little bit more reliable, but basically we've got that controlled by a switch, and then that turns them on to spin them. Then to load up each shot, what we have is this setup right here. If ever you want to set one of these up yourself, it's fairly straightforward. You have 3 bearings like this, and this is going to push whatever is in front of it in a straight line. And the way that you achieve that is by having the first bearing at a certain degree. The second one is double. The one after that is the same as the first. And let me show you that in action without all of this. I have to press the button there, don't I? Wrong button. There we go. And so that bit right there moves in a straight line, basically. And so its retracted position is just behind the edge of that wall. And that's where we load up the clip. So let's go up there and give it a little bit of a refill. At the moment, there is no like clever way to do this that I know of. It's basically a case of coming up here and building a pillar like that. Then you want to move off to the side and select your ammunition and place it at the top. Then destroy that block. So now that's its own separate entity. And we just do it like this. All the way across, just drop them in. Oops, if you do that, you probably just want to destroy both of them. Because now that's, wonky in there. So just destroy the one bit. And yeah, of course, you can make this clip a lot bigger. But that's the main thing that I'm pleased with this. By the way, the gun concept itself was something that I saw on Reddit. I mentioned that in the live stream. Forgot to mention it in this video. And then my idea was, right, okay, how can we take that to the next level? How can we make like a clip for it? And this is it. Let's aim this thing downwards. We haven't done a lot of that. I've got a feeling it's not going to be as good aiming it downwards. So let's load that up. Then let's press 5. Bam! That was actually a really good shot. Maybe the fact that we're aiming down helps it out a little bit. So let's just go back a touch. Oh, a little bit more than that. I think this is set to move in increments of 10 degrees. Okay, now we load up another shot. Now you can see that the clip's gotten a little bit stuck there. Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. Wow, I did that so bad because I didn't turn off. Okay, that thing made its way out of there. I didn't turn off the engines. So let's try it one more time. Turn on the engines. Bam. Yeah, okay, so that shot that we made before was probably just a one-off. Right, and now let's aim this thing like backwards and over to another side and take another shot. That'll do just fine. And what is it? Number 6. Bam. Number 5. Oh, that was a terrible shot. Let's shoot off this last one. And turn off the engines first. Bam! Yep, and that one just went out the side somewhere as well. So it doesn't always work 100%. And I think that's going to be very difficult to do in this game because it's just a very fussy game with the way things have been set up. For example, the way those these things were positioned in here, you'd kind of expect them to slide down easily, but they don't. There's lots of friction and very easy for things to get caught on other ones and for contraptions like this to not work too well. Anyway, if you want to know how this thing works in terms of turning left to right, let's go look at the controllers that do that. Where are they? They're the bearings. Oh yeah, there's one at the back and the right. So the setup is really simple. Just give it a small increment to turn at, and then click this down here. And that means every time you feed it an input, it's going to turn 10 degrees, and then it's going to stop. And that way you can, just turn it to left to right, back and forth, up and down, whatever it is you want to do. And there you go, that's the gun. I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback. If you've got any ideas on how we can improve this, take it to the next level, of course, feel free to let me know and we could perhaps work on this contraption. But that was my idea. To install a clip onto those wheels so you could shoot off multiple rounds, and it worked out really well. I've now got to walk around clearing up all of these ones that we've shot off, so that's going to take me a while because they went really far into the distance. Anyway, that's going to be it from me, this Scrap Mechanic video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, and if it's your first time here watching a Scrap Mechanic video on this channel, consider subscribing because we've done a load more. You can see them in the Scrap Mechanic playlist. There's a link to that down there in the description box. So go check that out if you haven't seen more of my Scrap Mechanic videos. Anyway, that is it from me. I'll stop rambling now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.